Hi friends, welcome to Joy Fido International. My name is Joy Fido and welcome on board. So what have I got to chat about today? Something really exciting. You know what Joy Fido International represents. Let's start thinking. Because what it is, over the years, I think we Africans in general, blacks in particular, Nigerians in particular, we stopped thinking. So this is a wake-up call. Let's start thinking. So what's my topic today? I call it deliberate destruction of African lives. Deliberate destruction of African lives. That's the topic. And where did this come in from, or how did I come about thinking about such a topic? I'm just coming from Nigeria, and this is a bit like a review of my experience in 1 month visit. And like they say, Nigeria is the largest country in Africa, largest population, and so generally, if anything is wrong in Nigeria, it affects the rest of Africa. And so if you want to really see what's happening in Africa, I know there are a few, dotted here and there. We went to Morocco, it was okay. Rwanda is doing okay. Ghana is trying their best. So, but on a general note, Nigeria gets it wrong, the rest of Africa gets it wrong. And so, I know Nigeria is getting it completely wrong right now. And that is affecting the rest of Africa. So why am I calling it deliberate destruction? Let's take them step by step. Let's start looking at the typical life of an African, like I am. And if you're watching this and you're an African, look now, let's start thinking. Let's break it down. You see, the reason I can really sit down and look at this, I can look at it because I have lived outside the country for over 20 years. And so if I come back and I see that something is wrong, then something is wrong. Like sometimes when I chat with my sisters, they just look at me. Why? Because they say, we don't know what you're talking about. Why? Because we live in it. So we don't know any different. But I know there are differences because I have lived outside. And I know that, like the Bible says, my people suffer for lack of knowledge. Nigerians are suffering for lack of knowledge. Africans are suffering for lack of knowledge. We look at things in pockets. It's making it even clearer to me because now I'm doing this course, travel and tourism, and I know people are visiting various parts of the world to enjoy, to relax, to have fun. Life is meant to be fun, not pain. You go to Nigeria, it is all pain. There is nowhere you go where somebody says to you, oh, I'm having such a great time. Even the so-called rich people, they are not having a great time. You know why? Because for them, their problem is security. Yes, every Nigerian is suffering with security, but the so-called rich people are suffering more. Why? Because if you think you're rich, have fun, enjoy your money. No, they cannot. Before they step out, they have 50 people guarding them. Is that life? Do you see Tony Blair marching around with 50 people guarding him or Theresa May? It's only recently when people here in the UK got fed up with politicians lying every day. So now when they're going on their campaign trail, somebody will throw an egg at them. No, look at the insult a politician got. They threw an egg on him. No, in Nigeria it's not an egg, because if a typical Nigerian has a way, they will kill them if they dare to walk, which they would not anyway. They would not, because they would not deal with the daily life that a typical Nigerian goes through. And I can tell you, because I get into the daily life. I get into the bus. These buses, Marwa, you name it, I have driven in, I have gone into it to experience what a natural, normal Nigerian experience is. I've entered the regular bus to see what they experience, and I know the life they live, if only they know. You know, there was an experience. We had this car with us. In this car, as far as we know, you know, here we have, in the UK, we have what they call MOT. Your car must pass certain tests before it can be roadworthy. Remember that word, roadworthy. And so, the car wasn't typically roadworthy anymore. It wasn't having this, it wasn't having. So we were feeling quite embarrassed, and we thought, we want to scrap this car. And a friend of ours comes and says, oh, no, don't scrap the car, give it to me. And we're thinking, what is he going to do with that? Well, we hadn't much knowledge of Nigeria then, because we've been away for quite a long time. And so he says, I'll send it to Nigeria. We're thinking, imagine sending that to Nigeria. So he did, fine. Case closed, no stories. And so now we visit Nigeria, and now we're in the deep of Nigeria. So sometimes things happen to you that you cannot explain why, and I think I have been put in this position so I can see things for myself. While I might be feeling upset, why do I have to experience this? In another way, it's a good thing, because now I can tell as it is. Because if I couldn't tell, how many Nigerians have that voice to come and speak what they're experiencing, or even know that what they're experiencing is wrong? And so, the cars you see on Nigerian roads are not fit for animals. That's the honest truth. They are not fit for animals. Talk about Nigerians. Beat up every part of the car out of it. It's like, it's like a shell, just a shell of a car. That's what drives on Nigerian roads. And you know what's funny? Also, so this person is driving that. And then you have this one that calls themselves some road traffic person. They have so many names they call them. And so he comes and he says, can I see your license? And can I see this? And can I see that? And he said, this car is not roadworthy, or something like that. But my question then was, is the road itself worthy? The road itself. Nigerian roads are death traps. And this is even in a city. I'm not saying outside. I'm not saying long distance roads. I'm saying in the city. You cannot go 2 meters without potholes. You're going in and out and in and out, or it's rained so much. Well, which is a blessing. It rains like crazy in Nigeria, which is good, because then it makes the crops grow. But what happens, where it goes wrong is there's no drainage system. And so the water just sits there and waits and cuts off a road and blocks everywhere. And so people swim through this. I had to put up a video on Facebook on one of these scenarios I saw. People swim through this. People walk through this. People drive their car through this. And what got me with these roads had to major business centers, major markets, Alaba markets, international trade fair, international market. These are places where they sell things that are coming from all over the world. You cannot access it. It's cut off from human life. If you say you're going to trade fair market today, that's it. Your whole day is done. And you know what hurts? Road is the only form of transportation in Nigeria. Road. Other countries, they sea access or maritime, like I did in travel and tourism. There's maritime access, there's road, there's air, and then you have tram in some places. And then you have the underground train. A place like Lagos deserves a proper underground system. What is wrong with us setting up such a thing in our country? Is it that we don't have enough brain to take care of such a thing? But naturally, I think we don't. And then we turn around, we say there's no job opportunities. Isn't that job creating such facilities? But of course, we cannot do all of that because a few people have taken all the money and siphoned it and shared it within themselves, and they've gone to drop it in Switzerland and Cayman Island and Ireland and you name it, places where the money will not be traced and it will not be taxed, and their families have been protected, and they can send their children to Eton and Harvard and Oxford and send them out of that system such that their children can have this amazing lifestyle, and then the rest of Nigerians can suffer for all they care. I heard someone own say, when I'm going to say own a street, it's not own a street as, that street, it belongs to XYZ man. No. The man lives on a street. His house is the street. The whole street, from the beginning of a street to the end, is where this man lives. Rich Nigerian. His office is there, his work is, his playground, you name it, everything. He does not leave that enclave. In tourism, we have what we call enclave tourism, where you bring people from various parts of the world and you just put them in this place and say, you just stay in this place, don't go anywhere, because if you go outside here, we cannot guarantee your security. And so enclave tourism, stay in this place, and when you finish, you come out, you go into the airport, you get out. And so this man has created for himself this enclave life. He's a Nigerian, he lives in Nigeria, he lives in Lagos in that lifestyle. And you think something is wrong with the system? It's not the country. It's not the land. It's not the sunshine that God gave us. It's not the rainfall that God gave us. It's the human brain that we are not putting into gear, that we're not using. And so we have people like this. There is no electricity. I can clearly, here on up and say, this trip we had more electricity than we have ever experienced. Somehow, somewhere, someone probably heard me in one of my videos complaining about electricity, and so we were having electricity constantly. But see why I say deliberate destruction of African lives? They formed a cartel in Nigeria such that their focus is to sell generators. And so while these same people visit other parts of the world and enjoy and relax and stay in posh neighborhoods, they come to Nigeria and they see to it that we cannot find a way to solve our electricity problem, because it is too much to deal with. A country that owns so much wealth from petroleum cannot put a think tank group together to say electricity is our problem, let's deal with it head on. No, we cannot do that. Let's find a way to kill these people more. Let's make them buy generators, so that we will be the only ones importing generators into the country. And then when we import it into the country, then they'll be blowing out fumes from generators, which are quite deadly, because where we are, unfortunately for us, we happen to be living next to a hospital which needs electricity 24/7, because they have equipment that they have to, people are giving birth, people are being operated upon, people. So you should see the machine, the generator house of this hospital. So the machine is constantly pumping this, whatever these fumes, you can, chemistry students will know what that is being thrown into the atmosphere, and I'm inhaling that every minute. And that's me, not to talk about all the young kids that are there. Everybody's inhaling that. The air, you could cut it with a knife If you just leave a place open, you look at it, you see the dark air, whatever these fumes are that it contains, and everywhere turns black because of the fumes from this generator. Do you see the destruction? And so they do all of this, and then they make sure there's no electricity, so we have this air being pumped into our lungs 24/7, and then we don't have electricity, and while that's happening, there's no water as well. So any way possible, let's frustrate and destroy them, break them down into pieces so they cannot think. And then if I'm not thinking about the electricity, I'm not worrying about the water, I then say to myself, let me go out and do some shopping of whatever I see, and then the car that I will go into, the bus that I go into, is an absolute mess, and the roads are a mess, so it cannot even take me from place to place. You go out for a 1 hour journey, normally it takes another 3 hours to get there and another 3 hours to come back, because the roads are a mess, and so there's traffic jam everywhere, and God help you if it rains a little bit, because all the potholes are full, and because everybody's trying to avoid the potholes. That's a picture, so I need to paint it to you. And so when this picture is the reality of a typical Nigerian, what then happens is, all he's thinking about is, how do I get out of this system? And I tell you, every Nigerian thinks that. They think, the minute they see you come from anywhere, they go, oh my gosh, you must be really enjoying, please, A, you give me money, or B, I can't wait to get out to be like you. And then you get out to be like me, and I come to a system that's all well laid out, like Britain, or like US, or like Hong Kong, or China, is all well laid out. And then as you come in, they see you as, oh, what does she want now? Because you haven't come to contribute anything to their system. So we're going to treat you anyhow we like. And so right now, you cannot, in your thinking, contribute. So you see how we have been so destroyed. Because I'm thinking to myself that I cannot wait to go to my country to contribute my understanding of life to my country, so it will benefit my own people. Because I've seen a lot in life. I have a lot I want to contribute to life. No, but I get into that system, and what do I get? Frustration. They want to frustrate you from the roads, they frustrate you with the electricity, so you don't even... I couldn't connect with people that much when I was away. Because the little we could buy of data, every 2 seconds is finishing, because there's no electricity, and when there's electricity, it's grabbing, and anybody who can find a way to put more cost on the typical Nigerian, let's try it. We're just buying data like water. Before it even gets into the computer, it's finished. I'm thinking, what is going on? Well, other governments in other parts of the world are working on seeing how they can create sanity in their system and create peace in their system, and help the people to grow and contribute and help the country. No, in Nigeria, what every politician is doing is how they can frustrate their people, so their people become absolutely useless, and if they don't like it, they should get out. Because no one dares to tell a politician that he's wrong. I mean, the most recent one is, obviously they just finished an election, and as usual, when they finish, they sack everybody else. Everybody that was before this new government comes must be sacked. So this new government comes and starts a new government. And you know what that means? When they say they're starting a new government, it means let's go and start how we can steal whatever we can find. Because the one that just left have just finished stealing what they found. So let's just keep stealing and stealing and stealing and destroying and destroying, and that's what's going on. And so typically the African life has been shortened and shortened and shortened. And right now, I don't know where we stand. I don't know. We're not counting the number of lives that get so frustrated they hop on any boat they can find and want to run from Libya and get onto the high Mediterranean Sea. And when they get on that high Mediterranean Sea, they end up maybe in Spain or wherever, and then they get tossed. They feel they haven't been, the boat gets thrown overboard, and all of them die, and no one asks. No one asks because no one cares. No one even knows how many people want to get out. No one knows how many people get onto that boat. No one knows how many people die before they even get to their destination. It's on every news. How many Nigerians and Africans and who have been, another boat of immigrants have capsized again, and 250 passengers on board all died. No one knows. No one cares. That's the destruction that's going on. So they destroy us physically. In our country, we cannot have a say. They destroy every infrastructure that could help to develop who we could be. Then as we get angry and we finally get out, we get into a system where nobody wants to hear us talk. And that's another form of destruction. By this time, mental destruction. I see typical Africans and Nigerians, and we're just marching from end to end in these parts of the world looking for jobs that no one cares about us. Because what else can you add to the system that they don't already have? And then you go to your system and no one wants to hear what you have to say. Do you see where the destruction is? It's like we've been deliberately squeezed and squeezed and squeezed, and they want to squeeze us completely, obliterate us. That's the plan. Obliteration. And I don't know what anyone has to say about that. I don't know why everybody's so relaxed and laid back about it. Well, I'm the one who's so confused and concerned about it. We all need to put our heads together and think and talk and address these issues, because these issues have got to be addressed. No one's going to address our issues but ourselves. No one's going to come to Africa and help us. Just like this book talks about the new colonialism. If the West have their way, they want to come and take it over from us. And that's what's already happening. That's what's happening. Because in collusion with these politicians, they come there, they drill away everything God gave us that they can find that will be useful to them. And then they don't pay tax on it. That's what this book talks about, the new colonialism. They don't pay tax on it because these politicians have gone into deals with them. I mean, Cameron, Prime Minister of Britain, had the guts one time to say, Nigerians are the most corrupt people in the world. And one of the comments I made was, it takes one to know one. It takes one to know one. If you did not give that bribe, would they accept it? If you say, I'm not giving you a bribe, will they take it from you? You gave them the bribe because you know what you want to get out of the system. And so you know you're going to get trillions. You tell them, okay, you know what? I give you $1 million. And this Nigerian man thinks, ooh, how many years will it take me to earn $1 million? Please, what do you want? Just go and get it and give me the $1 million. Let me go and save it in a Swiss account so that my generations unborn will never suffer again. Abacha did it. Abacha was just taking every money he could find from the Central Bank of Nigeria and locking away in Switzerland, and he died and left it there. Till today, they're still trying to recover money from Switzerland. That's the problem Africa has. Empty heads who don't think that their people need to be taken care of. People who are selling a continent away. So we need to pray. We need to pray hard to God to help us. While we're praying, we need to speak up. We need to allow the Spirit of God to walk through us, because we cannot carry on like this. We cannot run from pillar to post and not belong anywhere. That's what's annoying me. Because while I'm in Nigeria, I don't belong there. While I'm in the UK, I don't belong there. I don't belong anywhere. No one wants to hear my voice. I mean, Nigerian politicians don't want to hear any Nigerian tell them anything. My brother-in-law was killed just because he had a say in the village, not even in the state, in the village. Then you're thinking about on the national level in Nigeria, you will be going bonkers to go and talk to Buhari or talk to Lagos State Governor. People who have blocked their ears are blocked. People who collect toll. You're trying to drive into certain parts of Lagos, you pay toll, but you don't see the road fixed. So they're still, even the little the people have, they're still collecting from them. We're not talking the money from the petroleum that they've sold blocks. Because I was doing my research in my course, and I'm reading about how they sell blocks. They call themselves richest woman in Africa. Sold a block, petroleum block, to an oil company. And so they paid her. This is oil that belongs to the country, is now belonging to one woman. And I am the richest woman in Africa. Hello, from doing what? That's the same money that Qatar has used in creating an amazing country. That's the same money that Dubai has. Dubai has created this heaven-made country that they import even ice in a hot country. But no, Nigeria, with all the wealth we have used that same wealth to give to individuals, such that the generality of the populace continues to suffer, continues to be deceived, continues to be destroyed. So I think we need to all start thinking for the future of our children. I'm a mother, the mother of 4 children. I know it hurts me to imagine the future of my children if this is what's going to carry on. If you're a mother, you're a father, you're a brother, you're a sister, you need to start thinking. We all need to think, and we all need to do something about what's happening in Africa. So I'm going to leave it here today. I can go on, but I'm going to leave it here today. I mean, a book like this starts to open your eyes into the antics of these people. This is one written by Obasanjo himself, one-time president of Nigeria. He's given his story. He calls it My Watch. Other years I'm reading. You see what Africa is like. And that's why I say knowledge is power. You don't seek knowledge, you don't know. I'll leave it here. Thank you so much for watching. Please give us a thumbs up if you like what we talked about. We would like to hear your views as well. Share with your friends, because we all need to wake up. Subscribe, because there's more coming your way. So we look forward to seeing you in the next video. And God bless you as always.